Hello and welcome to Immortal Behaviour for this week. Joey, good to see you as always.
Good morning.
All right, well, let's start off with the Newcastle Knights. Look, the position they're in at the moment, 11th on the ladder, but they're on 18 points with 4 other sides. What did you think about their performance? They had a great win over the Raiders last week. Where do you think that they're at the moment?
I think they'll make the 8 this year. I think Bradman coming back, Bradman best on that left side. He just gives that strike player out there. Kalen doing what Kalen does. And that's where Kalen likes to play, on that left side. So with Mitchell Pearce back this week, look, their forwards have been dynamite all year. I think their forwards have been really strong. It's just on the back of that, I thought their outside backs on occasions defensively have been poor, but last week they defended really strong and got a great run in, so they should make the 8. And as I said, Mitchell back this week's a big one.
Well, Mitchell back this week. We know how much experience he has, but what is it that he does for the team as a whole?
He just organises, and he's that comforting voice where everyone knows their jobs when he's out there. And it's all about, we talk about combinations, but Mitchell and Kalen Ponga have this great combination, and when they combine, then Kalen brings Bradman into play. So you look at someone like South Sydney, and we talk about their left side attack. Everyone knows what's coming. Everyone knows what moves they're doing. They just can't stop it. And that's the same with when Bradman's out there. So Mitchell will bring that voice, organisation. He puts the polish on the end of the sets. He's got a great kicking game. And that combinations with Kalen, who brings Bradman into play.
Well, isn't that interesting? So it's round 21, and this is the first time that the Knights have had Pearce, Ponga and Bradman Best in the same side of this team.
Crazy when you think about it, and that's the key. You got to be in great form towards the end of the year, coming to the semis. You got to be injury free, which pretty much Newcastle are, except for Brayley at dummy half. He's out, I think, for a couple of weeks. Their forwards last week were so strong. Daniel Safir and his twin brother, geez, they're playing well. But bringing Mitchell back, who knows, they catch fire. And there's a couple other clubs in particular. Parramatta's got some injuries and lost form. Penrith have got those injuries, so who knows. But they'll definitely make the 8. You look at their run in, all winnable games.
Kalen Ponga, he's going to be, we know he's part of the captaincy group, but he's going to be the leadership group.
Whatever that means.
You're not a fan of the leadership groups, are you?
There's one captain. Just let the captain or the coach decide.
Well, he's going to be the on-field captain this week.
Too many cooks. You know what happens there? Spoils.
What is it that because on the field though, like there's going to always be one. Who do you think that the actual?
It's Kalen.
Every week, no matter.
Well, I spoke to someone within the organisation who I'm really friendly with, and I said, mate, Kalen's your captain. He's your best player. Everyone talks about the Newcastle Knights. They talk about Kalen. From a marketing point of view, they market Kalen as the face of the club. He's their best player. I understand he's finding his voice, but he doesn't need to say too much. He just leads by his actions. I just think he's the captain for the next, hopefully, 8-10 years when he stays at Newcastle. But moving forward, he's the captain for me. He's the figurehead of the club.
Why wouldn't a club just have him as captain instead of having a leadership
who
group?
knows?
It seems like an easy way out to go, oh, yep, all right, we're going to have 4 or 5 people, rather than just sort of...
Just go, bang, make
stick
the decision.
And pick.
Well, anyone talks about Newcastle now, they talk about Kalen, KP. And you see the promotional videos or anything or photos, it's always Kalen there. All the kids want to be like him. So it's his time, he's got to lead the club and the town loves him. So for me, Kalen's the captain.
All right, well, let's have a look at their run home to the finals. For the Knights, they've got the Broncos, Sharks, Bulldogs, Titans and the Broncos again.
Well, on paper, they probably should win every game. If you look at that, so there's 5 to go, 10 points, 20. They won't make the top 4, which I think you have to win the comp, but they may sneak into 6th position. Yeah, but they'll definitely make the 8 looking at that.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about the Parramatta Eels. Obviously, quite a disappointing loss for them to the Roosters last week. You've sort of gone back, had a look at it, had a review of it. What do you think went wrong?
Well, they're missing Mitchell Moses, obviously. That's the easy thing to say. He's got the best kicking game, well, the longest kicking game in the game. He's got a huge boot on him. So they missed his organisation, they missed his kicking game. I thought the kicking game was pretty poor for Parramatta. And it's just so important. You keep that pressure on and build the pressure. And if you don't get it right, then the opposition gets a 7-tackle restart. But yeah, it was a really poor performance from Parramatta. But I think with Mitchell back, he'll improve a lot. But there's a lot of pressure externally. I don't know what it's like inside the camp. Like, obviously, I work with the halves there, but I haven't been there now for probably around 6 weeks. Now they've moved. That's probably why they're not winning. But a lot of pressure.
You wouldn't fly up and do quarantine. There's no way that you'd.
No chance in the world. Not a chance in the world. Yeah, a lot of pressure externally, but the only way to stop that, and there's all talk that they're flat track bullies and they haven't beat anyone above them. So they just got to go out and have a big win. They just got to go out and win. They go out and win a couple in a row, then everyone forgets it.
Yeah, you silence the critics. Well, but people seem to be putting a line through them as a result of that performance. Is it too premature to do so?
No, I don't think so. I think you can see the form, and they're comparing this squad, what they've done in the last couple of years. So I think it's warranted, but the only way to stop it is to go out and have a big win and put some wins back to back against strong opposition. The big test will come the last 2 rounds. I think they played Penrith and also maybe the Storm last, or Penrith last. Anyway, they got those 2 teams last 2 rounds, so we'll see where they're at. But this week they have to win and have a big win.
Well, they have had quite a remarkable rise over the past 4 years or so, but they do seem to be sort of in and around that, race to the finals, in finals contention and stuff. Is there pressure, do you think, on the coach? Or?
Yeah, I think there's pressure. I think definitely pressure on Brad Arthur. He's gone to a certain spot, but they need to take that next step. And to get to that next step, it's not physical, it's a mental thing, and it's up to the players. Once the coach does the week and gives them the pre-game speech, then it's up to the players. And, only so much can come from the coach, but I can understand why he's under pressure. And I'd say he'd be feeling the pressure too, so he'd be hoping for a big win, but just get out and win. That's the key.
Right.
Don't go to a leadership group. Don't sit in a room and talk about this and that. Get out there and win.
Well, they actually have an out-and-out captain, Clint Gutherson, who has been sporting a pretty interesting new hairdo. What do you think of this?
Well, looks like he's tied that at the back. Is that like strapping paper, or is that...
It looks like a hair tie.
Oh, so it's premeditated.
Yeah. I wonder where he's got the hair tie from him.
I think Gutho needs to go and have a long walk with a couple of old school front rowers. Maybe go down a pub where your feet stick to the floor and understand what it is and how your hair should... Well, I can't talk. I dyed my hair red. What a F-wit. But Gutho, I just look at the front there. Is there a little bit of resemblance to the McDonald's emblem? Is that hair getting a bit catsy?
A bit thinning on top, are we
Maybe
thinking?
it's a smother.
Yeah.
But in the world of haircuts, that's a bludger. That's as bad as it gets.
Who do you think's got the best hair in the NRL?
Although I've seen Junior Paulo's got hair like that.
Yeah.
But Junior, you look amazing.
Yeah, Junior pulls it off.
Junior's too big and scary. Gutho, no, it doesn't work.
Who's got the best hair, do you think, in the NRL?
Ruben Garrick. I see him lining up the kicks.
That's...
I'm pretty sure he blow waves that hair.
Yeah, he's got some product in
and
there.
And then he looks, as he's looking up, he gets like the sexy eyes on. Just watch Ruben when he's kicking, and just have a look at the front. He's dead set. He's got a blow wave.
Yeah.
What do they call those bars? The blow
bars.
Blow bars. He's going there.
He's gone to have a champagne and a blow wave. All right, well, let's talk about the Rugby League World Cup. So at this stage, it is expected that it will be postponed potentially for another year. The clubs have come out and they've been in support of this getting postponed. It's quite an interesting situation because if players do play, that would be 2 years in a row that they would have had a shortened pre-season.
Yeah.
Is it just too...
I think it's common sense. It's over there, I understand it's around 80% vaccinated. I think there's players now, they're trying to get all the players to vaccinate. There's certain players that don't want to do it, which is up to them. But I think that when they had not a leadership meeting, they could not guarantee that someone wouldn't get COVID. They're pretty much sure one of the players would get it, or officials, or whatever. So common sense prevails. It'd be a big ask for, in particular, the New Zealand players who have been away for 18 months over here in Australia to go away again. Then to come home and quarantine for 2 weeks and then have a shortened off-season. You can understand the clubs jumping up and down because they pay for their players. and then they release them to rep footy with the risk of them getting injured. Look at Nathan Cleary this year. So I understand it. Look, Warney's over there at the moment. Warney's got COVID.
There are some interesting articles about.
Well, I did my article today that spoke about that. I said if Warney survives, his body be going, what's it? More like COVID would be saying, what's this body? But if Warney excels, that might be our vaccination moving forward.
Just get a little bit of Warney and all.
Pinch of Warney's blood. That is tiger blood. Could you imagine society? Everyone walking around with Warney's blood. I love you, the king. Good on you, Warney. Miss you, mate.
Too good. All right, well, Saturday night footy, that returns this weekend on 9. Pretty exciting.
I'm working.
Yeah, I'll be there with you.
Not happy.
Saturday. The post-game, get a couple of still cities.
Couple of still cities, for sure. Although we're going to be in Cairns. There's no long necks. You're going to do it properly. You've got to have long necks.
Oh, you're not going to bring out any?
Well, I'm trying to.
Yeah, all right.
But do it responsibly, kids.
Let you get onto that. But this is a really interesting Storm v Manly. This could be...
Game of the year.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this one. There's talk that they may rest Jerome Hughes. He's had some calf problems. I just think Manly win this one. I just think they're in too good a form. Such a well-balanced team at the moment, and they have pockets of attack all over. The left side was Schuster and Kieran Foran, then bringing Turbo into play. Around the middle, some of them big forwards just killing it in the middle. And the right side, Morgan Harper, he's improved player. And Ola Kawatu, the young tearaway on the edge. So they have points in them, but they move the ball, which you need to do to beat the Storm. You need to be unorthodox, you need to offload the ball. You need to play an up-tempo game. And sometimes you just need that bit of magic. You just need that superstar to say, come with me.
And they both have.
Well, they got the biggest superstar I've seen in a long, long. Last week I sat and watched that game with Turbo, and I was just like, this bloke is from another planet. I haven't seen an individual performance like that since Hayne played in 2009, since Jared just set the game alight. Mate, Turbo, it was like men playing boys. And when he got that ball and he skipped across field and then just went doink in between Tolman and Andrew Fafita, they didn't get a hand on him. It was like watching under-8s. He's out of this world. Another planet.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to that one. But
sometimes the world's just not fair. Say when he made Turbo, he was on. Well, the old man Johnny, geez, he'd be worth some money at the stud farm. The nicest family you'd ever meet. And we always sing the praises. Those boys. I lived in Mona Vale for a while, which is their junior club. And they would play on a Friday night or Saturday night, and then Sunday the junior footy. They'd be there at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
Refereeing or running the line, cooking the barbie on the curb. They're just a fantastic
Honestly,
family.
I still think to this day, Jake Trbojevic is one of the nicest people that I've ever met.
He says sorry to people when he folds them in half. He hits them hard. And, oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. He's in the Badiris mould.
Yeah. But when we talk about these two teams going head to head, we always bring up the Battle of Brookvale. It's one of those videos that you watch on YouTube and it just gets you excited for the match.
That's the way they're promoting the game. Oh, but look, we can't fight anymore. You can't punch. Just let them go at it.
That's on the rugby league highlights.
Go and ask all the rugby league fans. What do you want to see this week? Would you want to see the Battle of Brookvale again erupt? People will be on their tippy toes, just screaming, yes, yes, yes.
Where were you when?
I think I may have been working. I think I may have been there.
Would you have been sidelined?
Once again, I can't really remember. I think I was there. I think during that time, I think I was working at Manly.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I was doing some half stuff there. But that feud was simmering for ages. And I love when Glenn Stewart and Adam Blair's walking off and Gifty's just looking back. It's like, here it goes. And it was just... But when you see the footage, watch the footage and then have a look at the background of the crowd. The crowd's loving it.
Yeah.
We don't condone that. We don't like violence, but it's on the field. I grew up in the era of the Wild West. I didn't look what was on the field and think that's just the way I behaved in the playground.
You separate the two.
You separate the two. Kids, people know there's a big difference.
It's
just let them go at each other.
It's such an interesting history, those two teams going head to head, and like the stories that have come out about different things that have happened. I think Anthony Watmo did a interview one day talking about how they had the chopper. They had the chopper up getting vision of the Storm playing
Really?
when they were about to face them, and Des went and had a look and just goes, right, we're changing it, and we're changing our game plan.
I love that
and
stuff.
Yeah,
So there's two clubs you'd love to see go at it in like a battle. Maybe they get Jake and Tom. They're too nice.
Yeah.
Maybe the Roosters. I'll ever see Victor go nuclear or someone.
Who would be on par?
Well, the Roosters are playing Penrith this week.
Yeah.
And Victor's up against Tavita again.
There you go.
Just let him go. Just let him go. You know what? Them two, I know. Well, I don't really know Tavita. I know Victor, but they would go hard at each other, and after the game, they go up and shake hands. It's all forgotten.
Yeah. Who was the one team, not as a club coming up against another club, who was the one team that you actually hated so much coming up against them?
Hated because, Manly were.
Yeah. But
Manly was so good. And the thing is with Manly, they intimidated you. This is in the mid-90s. They were sledging and they were just so hard to beat. You know, they lost in 95 to the Bulldogs. They won in 96, and then obviously we beat them in the split comp in 97. They should have won 3 or 4 comps in a row. They had such a great team. Playing Canberra in Canberra on a wet, slippery night, same time in the mid-90s when you had Lazarus, all of them. Had 17 internationals. But, Manly and Canberra in the mid-90s.
would they get under your skin?
Manly would.
Yeah.
Canberra wouldn't. Canberra were just so good.
Yeah.
They were just... That mid-90s Canberra team, I think it's the best... Well, in my time in footy, it's the best team ever. It would put 100 on teams now.
All right, well, so much to look forward to over the weekend of footy. Thanks for joining us here for Immortal Behaviour this week, and we'll catch you again next week.